All right. So we're all processing this week and the many weeks before it. Just to state the obvious, the moment we're in right now is incredibly dark. And there is no easy way to process it. Believe me, I try to do that every day with all of you. But we have been here before, or a version of here before. We have seen how real leaders respond to moments like this. And we should remember that leadership right now. We should insist that the people in power today follow those examples. Today, I was thinking a lot about January 8th, 2011. Congresswoman Gabby Giffords was shot in the head while hosting a meeting for her constituents in Tucson, Arizona, something members of Congress do all the time. The gunman was just 22 years old. He appeared to have been radicalized online on MySpace, and the attack was a targeted, premeditated attempt at a political assassination. Now, Giffords herself, of course, survived, but 17 people were shot. 17 other people, I should say, were shot. 6 of them died, including a federal judge, a 9-year-old girl, and one of Giffords' young staffers, Gabe Zimmerman. Now, here was Republican Speaker of the House, John Boehner, days after that attack in 2011.
This body has yet to fully register the magnitude of this tragedy. We feel a litany of unwanted emotions that no resolution could possibly capture. We know that we gather here without distinction of party. The needs of this institution have always risen above partisanship. And what this institution needs right now is strength, holy and uplifting strength. Our hearts are broken, but our spirit is not. This is a time for the House to lock arms in prayer for the fallen and the wounded, and a resolve to carry on a dialogue of democracy. We may not yet have all the final answers, but we already have the answer that matters most, that we're Americans and we'll make it through this difficult period.
That really wasn't all that long ago. I mean, that was the top Republican in elected office at the time, getting visibly emotional, calling for Americans to lock arms in response to an act of political violence. This is how real leaders are supposed to respond in moments like these. It's not even the only example we can look to. I mean, on June 14, 2017, Republican Congressman and then House Majority Whip Steve Scalise was shot during practice for the annual congressional baseball game. It was a 10-minute-long shootout between a lone gunman and officers from the Capitol Police and Alexandria Police. 4 people were shot in that event: a Capitol Police officer, Congressman Scalise, a congressional aide, and a lobbyist. Now, within hours of the shooting, journalists uncovered the fact that the shooter, a 66-year-old left-wing activist, had volunteered for Bernie Sanders' 2016 presidential campaign. Here was Senator Sanders as soon as he learned that information.
Madam President, I have just been informed that the alleged shooter at the Republican baseball practice this morning is someone who apparently volunteered on my presidential campaign. I am sickened by this despicable act, and let me be as clear as I can be. Violence of any kind is unacceptable in our society, and I condemn this action in the strongest possible terms. Real change can only come about through nonviolent action, and anything else runs counter to our most deeply held American values.
Again, the shooter was someone who had volunteered on Senator Sanders' campaign. And yet the senator was clear as day, without a moment of hesitation. He said he had just learned the information. He felt sickened and made absolutely clear political violence of any kind is unacceptable. On July 13th of last year, President Trump was speaking at a campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania, when he was shot in the ear in an assassination attempt. Within seconds, Secret Service shot and killed the would-be assassin. Within hours, President Biden was denouncing the violence, saying that everybody must condemn it. And the next day, Biden gave this Oval Office address.
My fellow Americans, I want to speak to you tonight about the need for us to lower the temperature in our politics. And to remember, while we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors, we're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're our fellow Americans. We must stand together. Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back, take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever. Period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized.
This morning, at the press conference where local authorities in Utah announced that they had the suspect in Charlie Kirk's shooting in custody, Utah's Republican Governor Spencer Cox said something that stuck with me. Here it is.
To my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes. Because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country. But every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us.
I'm not saying that one speech or one response or one event is going to bring the country entirely together, but all of the people I just showed you, people from both parties, were trying. Now, in just the 2 days since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, we have seen lots and lots of individuals make reprehensible choices. Violence was returned with violence. Hate was returned with hate. We have seen detailed bomb threats made against state lawmakers in Michigan, Rhode Island, Oregon, and New Mexico. Because one of those lawmakers in New Mexico lived near a school, that meant a school had to be evacuated. Capitol Police had to sweep DNC headquarters after they received a bomb threat. The University of Massachusetts in Boston had to be evacuated because of fake reports of a shooting. And last night, a threat sent the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and an adjacent military base into lockdown. The New York Times obtained the emails students at the Naval Academy received, and this is from 5:32 p.m. Eastern time last night. The email warned students, get inside and lock your door right now. Not a drill, get inside and lock your door. Just 12 minutes later, students specifically in the 7th wing of this building, Bancroft Hall, the school's largest dormitory, were ordered to evacuate. In the chaos, a student mistook a law enforcement officer for the shooter and struck him in the head with a parade rifle. The law enforcement officer then fired at the student, wounding him in the arm. It turns out the threat that caused the lockdown was fake. It was traced to a former student who left the academy and was at his parents' house in the Midwest. But the fake threat led to a real student getting shot. Look, how we respond to this moment in our nation's history is a choice. It's a choice that each and every one of us, no matter how powerful or not powerful we are, get to make. And it's a choice that will decide what kind of a country we become and what kind of a country we all live in.